Yeah, this is DJ Clint Dogg coming back at you in the house. You know, I just posted this video on YouTube just to, you know, maybe someone from the NBL, the National Basketball League here in Australia, maybe watching this, and you know, like we're into, like, I think it's week 7 now, and the coverage on Fox only just started like last week, so we missed like the first 5 or 6 games, 5 or 6 weeks of you know, the rounds, and you know, why would you even start a season, start the coverage like 3/4 or a quarter of the way through and only show 3/4 of it? You know, that's not right. And what is it, still the Hummer Championship, or what is it? You know, like Andrew Gaze and Mark Bradkey, they're doing a real good thing on YouTube with their NBL episodes. They're doing a real good thing there. I've watched every single one of them, and you know what? They're doing better coverage than what Channel 9 and Fox or whoever else does cover their basketball. And what I can't believe, and I hope someone from the NBL is watching this or listening, but you know, and this is not a diss to the NBL. The NBL is doing a good job with what they got, because basketball is, you know, on the low, you know, going downhill at the moment. We're trying to get it back up, and there's some steps being taken to get it back up there, and they should work, they will work. But you know, the women's basketball, the WNBL, which is a game that's played below the ring, men play above the rim, and it's a more sensational sport, or same sport but sensational game to watch. You know, above the rim, the women are getting more coverage on the ABC than the actual men, and that's wrong. You know, like the women are getting a once a week game on there, and ABC 1, ABC 2. If they're getting more coverage than the men, what's the world coming to, you know? Like basketball, I mean, the basketball world in Australia is coming to an end, to an abrupt halt, you know? No Sydney Kings. You've got to have the Sydney Kings in there, they're icons of the league. And what you've got to have is you've got to have the foundation teams in there as well, like the Canberra Cannons, the Newcastle Falcons. You've got to have Hobart in there for sure. You've got to have Brisbane Bullets in there, you know? Like those teams. You know, if it's a true national basketball league competition, you've got to have a team from each state or territory in there. And if you don't have one from each state or territory, it's just a competition. It's just a basketball league. It's not a national basketball league. You know, I'm sort of glad that Singapore are gone. You know, New Zealand, I can accept New Zealand being in the league because they can compete, and that's a major plus. But they're pretty close to Australia. But you know, Singapore, they're a little bit further away, and you know, that's just it's just a bit of money talking there. And I think that if they're out the league, that's the way it should stay. NBL.com.au, the site, it's alright, it's pretty good. There's a lot of people on the internet saying, you know, the live stats are this, and they don't report this and they don't report that. I check NBL.com every day, and I check it every day for stats and reports and news on the players and whatever, and that's where I get all my information from, you know, and it's straight from the horse's mouth. It's from the NBL, you know, and you know, sometimes there's a few wrong things on there, and that's okay, but you got to fix them up, you know, for it to be a truly professional website. There's a few people around there saying the live scores are hopeless, and I can't get this and I can't get that. Well, there's a few glitches and hitches with live scores and stuff like that, and we can all understand that, and we know what's going on there. Well, some of us know what's going on there, but these people that have never worked for an NBL club, or these people that have, you know, these people that just pay to get into games, you know, and post crap on the internet. You know, the courtside announcer wasn't too loud, or he was too loud, or he was too soft, or, you know, why don't they sign so-and-so, why don't they sign that? There's a lot more to it, you know. You can't get blood out of a stone. If you've got money, yeah, you buy your top player, you buy your Ebby Araz, you buy your this, you buy your that. But if you haven't got money, well, the go is that you can't buy things that you don't have the money for, you know. They don't understand that where you going to get the money from. Like I say, you can't get blood out of a stone. And these people that are posting this and that on the internet, the coaches and the assistant coaches and the management of each club, they do a pretty good job. You know, they do a pretty good job with what we've got at the moment. And these people on the internet typing this stuff about, you know, why don't they sign, you know, for example, old boy Luke Kendall. I've called his games a couple of times, introduced him a couple of times, but you know, like I wouldn't he was the last man cut from the Boomers because he wasn't good enough to make the team. But you know, during the last few weeks, he's recently signed with Perth, and he's now playing with them. But things happen for a reason, and things happen, you know, like he didn't get a game straight away because he couldn't get fit in anywhere. No one had enough money to sign him. He might have been asking too much. You know, player points, the point system, that all comes into calculation. These people don't realise that all that stuff comes into calculation or consideration before they actually, you know, sign him or do this or do that. And that's just an example. You know, that's not a diss towards Luke Kendall as well. But, you know, people think, well, you know, the Wildcats should have signed him from day one. You know, the West Sydney or the City Spirit should have signed him from day one. You know, whoever, Wollongong should have signed him from day one. You know, they probably got all their roster complete, they're full of their cap points, you know, and they can't fit him in. But circumstances changed, and a few players got injured over there at Perth, and a few things happened, and what came up is they had the chance to sign Luke Kendall, and that's how they got him.